something went on here, something went on there.
This time on TNT.
The Further Adventures of Bonnie and the Blue Jay, yeah.
Gino and Joe go to the Chin picnic.
Plus, Andrea and Laramie are friggin' rainy day people. That's all coming up right now on TNT. Yeah, good morning to you, sir. Nice sunshiny day, yeah. What's that? Is it a fly ball, he says, or is it a seagull? Yeah, no, it's not. It's a blue jay. What's that, Jose? Jose, can you see? Yeah. You're a chatterbox this morning, sir. Yeah, we might be in the basement, but at least we're not dead, are we? He says. Jose, everything you say sounds the same. Yeah. I know. I think the same thing. It's hard to believe how many people we have on the IR. Yeah. Well, yeah, I know, but it sounds like Donaldson's almost back, and it sounds like Tulo might be close too. Yeah. I don't know if we should trade anybody. Yeah, I think we need to. Well, you make a good point, but I think okay. I guess my argument was we should just be patient and weather the storm, yeah. I feel like you're trying to tell me something. Are you having a friend over? Yeah. It is spring. Maybe you're feeling a little randy, are you? Yeah. Oh dear. What is this lovely lady's name? Okay. She's a little territorial, yeah. Oh, hey, it's okay, everything's cool here. No need to attack me, yeah. Jose, your lady's a little territorial, yeah. So, Jose had another Blue Jay over, and she was like strutting her stuff and trying to make Bonnie back up. Is that what went down?
I think so. That was it.
By the way, serious props to you on the Blue Jay 1s and 2s. That was hard because you just kept having to hit the reset, right?
Well, I found this chirping Blue Jay, and there was a few spots where it was close, and then there was some far away ones. So yeah,
If I was on a game show and someone said, "Is this what a Blue Jay sounds like?" I would have said no.
Yeah, right?
I didn't know that's what a Blue Jay sounds like. They sound kind of crowish.
But when you hear it, you're like, "Oh yeah, that is a Blue Jay."
Oh yeah, yeah.
Jose's hungry.
I love her filling in the blanks of what Jose said. What's that? You think we should trade Tulo? Yeah. I have since seen, since I saw Jose at the real Bonnie's house, I have since seen evidence of 3 or 4 domestic bird nests.
Really?
Like in wreaths? Yes, in people's porches. It seems like it's an epidemic this year. And in the neighborhood near us, there's a bald eagle's nest.
Whoa.
And we saw that Maft flying the other day with another bird's nest to just drop on his nest.
Come on.
Yeah, he's like, I'm going to add on to my place. Shorthand, here, peace.
We've had a robin that's nested here just on the back porch right outside the door under the light, which is under the balcony of our bedroom. So there's a little spot there, and there's a robin that's nested there for 3 years now.
Come on.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, right above the light so the kids can see the robins coming in and out and constantly, and at this point it's just eggs. There's 3 little eggs in there. Robin's
No
eggs.
way.
Yeah. And then they'll be born and then they'll split. I mean, it could be an offspring maybe at this point, but it's pretty incredible. That's 3 years in a row. They've come back, and I guess they feel safe at this point, and the kids can go upstairs from our bedroom and look through the cracks of the porch to see the nest. So it's
awesome.
It's been amazing.
Birds are dope, man.
They are.
Flying back 5,000 kilometers to the same tree every year.
So smart.
Creatures of habit masks. I don't blame the robin for. I mean, you have $100,000 pimped out deck. Of course, it wants to crash there.
He's just hanging out. She's the mama's rocking, the dad's cruising, hanging out around the backyard.
I'd like to see. Was it Robin Black?
What?
Wasn't he a musician?
The metal guy, and now he's the MMA guy?
Yeah.
What about him?
I'd like to see him in a nest. Like living in a nest on your deck.
Living in like some Survivor show, Robin Black in Ecuador in the forest?
Yeah. Ecuador.
He's got to survive for 3 months, and he's just in his undies?
Yeah.
MMA undies? And he's got
my Mondays.
Middle of the night, big scary sounds, and he's in the nest all. Does he have that? Remember, he had the eye black, right? He had the mascara going.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's rocking
mascara
in the nest, just to feel animalistic in the wild.
Robin Black was on Jonavision, and I think it was with his band at the time. Were they called like Robin Black and the Intergalactic All Stars or something?
Like
some
Rock
long,
Stars or
name?
something. Yeah. I remember he came out. He had that kind of persona, that the rock and roll thing, and he liked to chirp other bands and stuff. It was pretty funny.
That was his thing.
Yeah, for sure. Chirps.
I guess the only thing about having a thing is there comes a point when people get tired of your thing.
Yeah, and then the thing, you have to turn it into another thing.
Well, I remember having a conversation with Tom Green when he was on Jonavision, and it was right around the time when he took that dead raccoon on Mike Bullard, remember?
Yeah, that was a bad move on this. Well, it was actually great publicity-wise.
It was unbelievable.
But Bullard, he puked, right?
It was the only time in the history of the show they had to stop the taping because Mike had to go in the alley and vomit. If you didn't see it, folks, Tom Green found a raccoon on the side of the road and he put it in a suitcase and it had been in there for 6 weeks. And he opened it up on the Mike Bullard
it's
show.
All maggots and disgusting.
So disgusting, and Mike vomited.
Yeah.
But I think
it was probably the biggest publicity the show ever had.
Oh, it was unreal.
Because it went everywhere.
It was unreal. It was unreal.
It was unreal.
It traveled like crazy. But I remember talking to him around, I think it was the same week he was on Jonavision, and just talking about the pressure to outdo and upsell and think even more outside the box. I think I've talked about that on this show before. The one thing he said they shot that the network shut down.
Yeah.
They had a piece of poo in a Barbie bed with googly eyes on it as the sidekick for one episode.
Gross.
And the network was like, you can't do that.
Yeah. Like, what's the point of that?
I mean, it's so absurd, and that was his bag. Like, he's fearless in that regard.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure Eric Andre would do something like that now. I'm sure that would be allowed.
Yeah, I bet.
He's nuts.
But you realize that the boundaries have expanded even more crazily in what is a relatively short time.
If you watch that show, that's like, it doesn't get any more over the top than Eric Andre.
Yeah.
That's insanity.
Yeah, it's nuts.
It's like a 1978 punk rock show at CBGB's mixed in with a talk show.
So you did the Eric Andre show in Toronto. What, did he coat you in goo or something?
Well,
was there...
the whole stage, by the time I got up there, was covered in like all snacks and ranch dressing and hamburgers and food and all this like salad. It was disgusting. Like I almost fell twice getting to the chair, and he doesn't
sliding in salad.
He doesn't ask any questions that make any sense. So it's constantly like he just makes fun of the guests. So you just sit there and hope it's not going to be too bad. And then he put a shock, like a dog shock collar on my hand, and asking me true or false questions that were just impossible. And then I kept getting shocked.
Really?
Yeah. It was pretty crazy.
Did the shock hurt?
It was the dog collars. Yeah, it was you could feel it. That's a good snap.
And people were all in, right?
Oh yeah, people go crazy, and they get mad if he's like. And if
he's
the
low-key.
guest tries to say anything, like tries to be funny or something, you get booed all really loud, like boo.
Really?
Yeah, there's no it's just but you're the victim and you're on the wheel, which is pretty fun.
And then he just lets you know when it's over.
Yeah, and then he takes off his pants and like comes over to you with no pants on and it's like and like grabs you and starts trying to kiss you. Greasy.
Like zip flop styles, or you
like
have
no
underpants
pants styles.
on? What?
Yeah, and he's like does the tuck, so he comes over to you with a tucked cock.
What?
Yeah, it was just hilarious.
And so you necked with him?
No, I didn't. He tried, and I was like, nah, man, not feeling.
Nah,
that.
man.
I get it, and he was nice enough not to push his tongue onto me.
So the better the sport you are, the more respect you get from the audience.
Definitely, for sure.
Yeah.
It was fun. Hey, I have a request.
Yeah.
Do Bonnie having a dart, and then this song comes on through the wall.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, man.
2010 jam, by the way. 110.
Yeah. Oh, I might pour myself a small one. Yeah. I think this is, I like this song. It's where the young man is trying to remember who his real friends are. And he says his fake friends might as well shove it. Yeah, you should doing you. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. But it's far from over, yeah. It has kind of a marching band quality to it. Yeah. I believe she married the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Yeah. I wonder, it's a tiny bit loud. Maybe I'll knock on the wall. Hi, yeah, it's the neighbor, yeah. It's not me, I'm just worried about I have a blue jay rooming with me, yeah. Hello? Should I call 911? I'm gonna have to go ahead and ask you to turn it down, yeah. Yeah? Yeah. 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 Poor Bonnie.
Her yells are yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. What a dumb thing to yell. It doesn't really advance the story. Yeah.
She's like,
No?
what did you say? Do I need to call you?
Who lives next door to Bonnie? Some crazy kids.
Oh, man.
University kids with their first place. By the way, that's what the real Bonnie calls having a drink. I think I'm going to pour a small one, yeah.
And what is it? It's like
Just a small one, yeah.
Which is like 3 fingers of scotch.
Just a snap or rye before dinner.
A snap.
Just a small one, yeah. No harm in a small one, yeah. Work up your appetite, yeah. She's the best.
She is. Oh, a small one.
Jeremy, while we were talking about Mike Bullard, who is also at News Talk 1010, we should tell the people that we have made a decision to step away from our duties on Sunday nights at 1010 for the time being.
Yes.
It was a tough decision because it's a really fun thing to do, but we have a fair bit going on.
Yeah, we're quite busy, and Mike Ben Dixon was awesome to us the whole time and was nice enough to kind of allow us to, put it aside and
Turbo bod.
Hopefully, we can get back there and do it again. But right now we're slammed with all things TNT.
Yeah, including, it's premature, but we're working on TNT TV.
Yes.
For someone.
Yes.
And that's really exciting, but we are going to be shooting a sort of demo.
Yeah.
Which would be awesome. Ew! How many times could I say, Turbo bod, before you were like, okay, that's enough?
Well, for a second I was like, what is that? Oh, it is, well, because Ben Dixon is a turbo bot, so that was nice.
That's my robot voice. Turbo bod. It has a bit of Micah in it, too.
Micah. How about
Hi,
this?
Jeremy.
I could see Micah putting this jam on. This 2010 jam. Fucking, I hate this
Fireflies.
song. Fireflies. I heard this, I was like, what is this? You fucking, some YouTube kid?
I have to confess, I liked Fireflies.
You did?
Yeah.
Why?
I'll tell you exactly why. Suge was a new baby.
Oh, the kids.
And I was driving to the pool because I was going through a swimming phase. And I listened to this song on the drive to the pool all the time. So I always had it in my head while I was swimming because it's a good rhythm to try to keep up to swim.
And you're thinking of your kids.
Yeah.
So that's always one way to wreck me making fun of it.
I like the Planet Earth. The planet
like that
Earth
part?
turns slowly. Yeah, I think it's a nice melody.
Who's this guy anyway? Owl City. Do you know who the guy is?
I can't imagine that's his Christian name. What a beautiful baby boy. Let's name him Owl.
Let's have him.
Have I told you about the Owl, the Onslow Wrestling League that I have with the Gerst?
No. Onslow
Sunday
Wrestling League?
Yeah, the Owl.
So you guys, when you guys rock and beat each other up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every Sunday. Indy's character is Pinkalea,
Nice.
and her walk-in jam is Shake It Off by Taylor Swift. Shuggy is the sports bra fairy, and I am the great Dadu.
Wow.
And Indy is 5, and she's undefeated.
Of course they are. Yeah, they can't lose.
Yeah, she's actually a really good wrestler.
Annalise is just getting over that point where it's like, yeah, if she loses, she cries in the wrestling.
Aww.
So it's like, yeah, but she's getting there now. It's where she has 100 lives and I get 5. So if she loses a couple times, it's no big deal.
I like how, people always say that parenting gets better at every age and stage, and there's something to like about all ages, but I have to say 7 and 5 is pretty fun because they still need you, they still rely on you, you still are a big, bright, shining star in their eyes, but they have their own ideas to bring to the table, like they have costumes for their wrestlers, and they pick their walk-in jams, and they made their characters.
Yeah.
Like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, you do what they tell you. Annalise basically gives me a script every time we play.
Yeah, here's what you say.
Yeah, here's your line. Okay, Daddy? Okay, Daddy? Okay, Daddy.
And if you don't nail it, you hear back.
Absolutely. No.
So I was at an RV place last week to buy a water filter, and there was this wooden carved owl there. And I was like, I think that's the grand trophy for the Owl Wrestling League.
Oh, yeah.
I'll send you a picture of it. So we have a trophy, and whoever won, the trophy stays in their bedroom till next Sunday.
Oh, was there fights over it now, or is that okay? Is it always in?
No, because it's pretty fair and square. Because the person who's not wrestling is the referee.
Oh.
And mostly there's just no denying that Indy has the 2 shoulders pinned for 3 seconds.
Yeah. Oh, it's that rule? The shoulder pin?
Yep.
Does it ever get heated?
Yeah, sure it does.
Yeah.
No biting, no kicking, no punching. Those are the rules. Otherwise, there ain't no rules.
See, with me, it's just no headshots and no jumping without telling me.
Yeah, that's a good rule too.
And then other than that, I say go to town.
Is there any hair pulling?
No, well, yeah, but I said that's off limits too because they started doing that all the time.
Yeah.
But Annalise one time, she's like, I'm a barbarian, she said. I was like, lying on my back with my knees up together. And she comes running from the bottom of the bed. I'm a barbarian, and throws my legs apart and gives me the big boot in the sack.
Oh no!
Yeah, I'm like, what the hell was that? That's not how you do it. That's way over the line. I'm a barbarian, and just like sacks me with the big heel.
Like Chuck the Boot, but without the boot.
The full-on alert hit.
They have a way of finding that area
Yeah.
with their feet.
Well, and my son John would, like, once he started getting bigger, at one point I didn't, the jumping without saying rule, because he did like a full-on jump in the air, knees up, without me knowing, onto my back. So his
Savage.
Like, knees, right? Yeah, like totally 1983 Superfly snooker move.
Savage.
It was so painful. I was like, you can't do it. Knocked the wind out of me. Yeah, got to be careful with those wrestling. Hey, guess what time it is?
Time to take a break, bud. Time to take a break.
Fucking ready.
You're listening to BNGR Banger 80s at 8. I'm your host, Alan Frew.
And I'm Brad Roberts.
It's going to be a great hour of music that has all your favorites with great lyrics and catchy melodies from the 1980s. Brad, what can you tell me about the 1980s?
Well, they were pretty good. I was a little young at the time, but we also played some of the best of the 90s, not to mention the best of the Winnipeg scene in the 90s.
But mostly it's all 80s at 8. The 80s was my heyday. That's why right now let's kick things off with a classic. This is Don't Forget Me When I'm Gone by Glass Tiger. That was a good throw, Brad.
Here we are with Glass Tiger.
Great song, great lyrics, makes you feel good.
I just remember being a kid and, being I was a little awkward in high school. I don't know about you, Alan, but it was a little troubling for me to meet girls. I was more introspective, and it gave me my lyrics. That's why I concentrated a little bit more on lyrics than perhaps you did with Glass Tiger.
Yeah, well, I guess when I was kissing girls, you were cracking books. That's why high school for me was a time when I thought about what the future might hold. You're listening to BNGR, the banger, 80s at 8, all 80s, all the time. And when I was in high school, what I like to think about was someday what might happen. Here's Glass Tiger.
Well, that's Someday by Glass Tiger. Certainly
Great
a lot of
song.
Glass
Another
Tiger
great
this
song.
morning, Alan. I don't understand that, but anyway.
Do you know what, Brad? It's the computer. It picks all the random greatest songs of the 1980s. Haven't heard a Crash Test song yet.
Well, I guess, okay, here we are. Another song. The banger. Diamond Sun Alan again, obviously.
Oh, classic.
Is this one you wrote in England?
It's one I wrote, if I'm being honest with you, in about 20 minutes. As our plane was landing in St. John's, we had to circle a couple times, and by the time we were on the ground, I had 3 verses and a pre-chorus and a chorus.
Yeah, I remember when I listened to that song, I think I'd written my 3rd novel. I started writing novellas at that point.
That's so interesting, and yet not at the same time.
We're at the banger, the best of the 80s and 90s. Actually, we're going to spin another, probably one of the biggest songs of the 90s. It's called, it's
Sorry,
my
Brad.
band.
Not to split hairs, but it's the 80s at 8. This is 90s, no? Yeah, this song, right?
Let's let the people enjoy the song, Alan.
Right, can I talk to you for a second? Sorry, I don't mean to be that guy, but it's supposed to be the 80s, not the 90s, Brad.
That's Crash Test Dummies on the banger, Alan. Seems like there's a lot of phone calls coming in. It's actually lit up.
Yeah, I'm gonna read a text that we just got. It says, clearly, Crash Test Dummies was 90s. What are you doing playing that garbage on the 80s station? How would you answer that, Brad? Because I'm not sure.
I was listening to some of your lyrics, and I want you to hear some of mine, and maybe we can have, a little break from the music for a second and compare words with each other.
What are you suggesting that the words burn and learn don't rhyme?
I mean, for example, Tarzan wasn't a ladies' man. He'd just come along and scoop him up under his arm like that.
I feel like I'm reading someone's sociology paper.
I mean, that's pretty honest stuff right there. If you're into Superman, you're not only getting information that you might not have known about Superman, but it's if you listen to it, like dumb as an ape, doing nothing.
Can I ask you a question, Brad?
What's that, Alan?
What Crash Test song was it that Rod Stewart appeared on? That's right, he didn't, did he?
I'm not sure.
But he did appear on a Glass Tiger song, as did, what's his name? Oh, that's right, platinum recording artist Bryan Adams.
Well, what do we got up here? Why do we have to play this song again? This is more Glass Tiger?
It's Animal Heart, only on BNGR, the banger.
This is your attempt at metal, was it not, Alan?
Was there a Crash Test Dummies song about citrus?
Did you double up on the hairspray on this tour, Alan?
Peter Pumpkinhead, that was it. The one where that lady sang.
It's a wonderful
That's a good
XTC song, actually, Alan.
Let's listen to the master.
Cut your hair, but it's a little higher on the top at this period.
I guess I was so busy clocking ladies I didn't have time to get a tram.
I like that you're talking about the divide between the rich and the poor. That was Animal Heart, Glass Tiger on the banger.
Do you know the guy with one arm from Def Leppard? He stopped me at a festival and he said he loved that song, Animal Heart.
Bright white. Bright white.
Was that a bit of a dental commercial?
Well, that was a little bit of advertising, actually, for the banger. It was a toothpaste. I don't know if you got that. It's a little outside-of-the-box marketing from Colgate.
Brad, can I ask you something?
What's that?
Why so serious all the time? Oh, careful! Everyone's gonna have to take a shot! Oh no, I can feel it! Please stop! I'm gonna have to take a shot! BNGR the banger. All 80s, all the time. We'll be right back. Do you know that Shugs...
Take a shot.
I'm gonna have to take a shot! Shugs' an indie school concert was the other night, and the big closing number was, I'm gonna sing my song.
Oh yeah, there's another one.
They brought it home with the Glass Tiger Jam, and it was tight.
I thought that Alan Frew would just be like, oh, we could go all day with the hits.
It's so not fair. Frew playing all Glass Tiger on a radio show that they're co-hosting, and then being very by the book about, no, it's technically 80s, bud. You guys were 90s. Maybe there's a job in the 90s at 9.
And it seems like it's actually not 90s. It's more like 98 or like 99.
What did you listen to in the 80s?
I don't know. Mostly records that my parents had around the house. So like old 60s and 70s rock, as well as like jazz, like Coltrane. And I wasn't a big fan of new wave, really.
Man.
I liked the Police. I liked I thought REM were good. I thought U2 were pretty good in the 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're doing Joshua Tree, aren't they?
Yeah, that would be quite the spectacle when they're using all those fancy lights. It's crazy
That
stuff.
was one of the first records that I listened to start to finish, and there wasn't a bad song on it.
No, that's a great
Like
record.
of my generation, music that appealed to my people. That's a
Definitely.
great record.
And not to mention the heavy Canadianity flavor of Daniel Lanois all over that album.
Right.
His styles and guitar playing. And if you listen to The Maker or songs like that he's had on his own, there's just such a feel to, especially like all the records that he's done with other artists, like the Gabriel albums sound like Lanois, and if Lanois works with a band, it just somehow sounds like him. So yeah, that record is very influenced by him as well, and not to mention the soul music from America and the Heartland jams. It's a great record, gotta say. As much as Bono
As a drummer,
bothers me, I like that
what?
album.
As a drummer, yeah, but Bono bothers you in the years since then.
Yeah, I don't think
Bono
he
didn't
bugged
bother
me
you then.
much then, but when I look back, I was like, he was kind of cheesy too, though. When he had the hairdo.
As a drummer, drumming along to Peter Gabriel and the Police just makes you realize how lit those dudes are.
Yeah.
Stuart Copeland's insane, isn't he?
Gordon Lightfoot would say.
Lit AF.
No, yeah, Stuart Copeland's great. He was actually one of the best things about them getting back together. Just shows everybody how great he was. But
did you see that show? Police at the ACC?
I didn't. No, but I saw the live stuff.
It was nuts.
Yeah.
They were so tight and so good, and Sting sounded so great, and Copeland was on fire.
And that
was one of those, like, this might suck, but it didn't suck.
I did see Gabriel on the Secret World tour. I think we talked about that before, but yeah.
That must have been insane.
Manu Katché on the drums. Fantastic drummer.
Manu Katché played with Sting too, didn't he?
Yeah, yeah.
He's like that world beat guy.
Just a great drummer. He's a cat from Paris. He actually came out to an OLP show in Paris once.
No way.
Yeah, talk about nervous. That guy's staring at you.
Did you meet him?
Yeah. Super sweet guy. I met him a couple times. I met him on the Secret World tour before.
Crazy.
I really was doing anything professionally, because that was early in OLP's career when I think it was 94 when that Secret World tour. But when he came to Paris, it was later on, like 99 or something, 98 maybe.
So was he complimentary?
Yeah, he's a really sweet guy. At the time, he was managed by Karen Kaplan. I think he might still be, but Karen Kaplan was our OLP's American manager for a few years. Really cool lady who worked under Principal Management, which was U2 and Paul McGuinness's management.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Did you ever meet the Gabes?
Gabes? Yeah, I met the Gabes.
What?
Sweet Gabes. Yeah, I met him at that tour.
No way.
Tour. Yeah, nice.
What,
I mean,
what
when
was
you
the
say
Gabes
hello
like?
and shake hands and they're sweet, that's about it for that.
Yeah.
Never hung out with them really, but yeah.
Like with Manu Katché, do you get into like drum talk, or it's just like, hey man?
Yeah, it's just hanging out, chatting. I mean, there were so many records that he played on that I loved. Like he's on that Somewhere Down the Crazy River track. The drumming on that song is
so
awesome.
Good.
Yeah. That was one of the first jams I learned on the drums, like when it was like learning hard beats when you're a kid. Like, when you're tackling like 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover, that jam, or Rosanna by Toto.
Doom dum dum ba doom.
There's always like these feels that everybody's trying to feel the cop, or take like Fool in the Rain by Bonham. It's all those Bernard Purdy halftime shuffle jams. It's good stuff.
What makes those hard?
Just because they're really intricate and also involve a lot of feel. You know what I mean? It has to. It's a lot of shit going on, but it has to sound relaxed. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a triplet.
Yeah.
You're playing
Effortless.
basically a slow groove, but you're emphasizing the quarter note triplets with your right hand and your left hand in between it. If you listen to any of those songs, you're like, man, those drums are wacky. Like Fool in the Rain's a good one.
Let me ask you something.
Yeah.
And it's a broad question, but you've met in your life many of your idols. I've met some of mine.
Mm-hmm.
Ultimately, would you say it's better to appreciate people from far because they are inevitably disappointing when you meet them? Or ultimately, would you say it's cool and better to have met them?
No, yeah, and when they are cool, it makes it even more amazing. You know what I mean? Like if you meet someone that you really respect and they're really nice and down to earth, it makes it legendary. You know, if they're
Right.
a pain in the ass, you're like, well, that's I guess what happens. Or, you know, sometimes you can see there's a veil there if you see someone's really a prick in person. But I don't know. It seems to me that the honest types, like if you read their interviews and stuff, they seem to be the most normal when you meet them. Like Elvin Jones, for example, or Robert Plant or Jimmy Page. Like they're really normal, down-to-earth seeming. Like the Van Halen brothers are super normal. Even the Ramones. Like
Super normal dudes.
Yeah, really just down to earth. You know, Joey Ramone loved like collecting signed pictures of baseball players and stuff. He had these huge books of baseball cards and signed pictures of baseball players. It's just the glimpse of really normal stuff, you know, like a genuine love for something that everybody can relate to.
Well, that's really cool. Like, there is a respect between athletes and musicians, isn't there?
For sure, definitely. And like you said, you meet, and I'm sure you've met many people where you're like, man, what a dick. Or, you know, I kind of thought they were a dick, or I didn't know they were a dick, and they are a dick. It happens, but when they're awesome, that's the good stuff.
Yeah, that's the good stuff. More often than not, they're just boring.
Yeah, for sure.
Because they're insulated and have nothing to talk about.
Yeah, exactly. For sure.
But man, I wonder if Manu Katché played drums on What About Now? Because Peter Gabriel and what's his name? Aaron
Neville?
Yeah. They're both on that.
Isn't that
That's probably a
Robbie
Manu
Robertson?
Katché joint. Yeah, it's a Robbie Robertson joint.
It is, right?
Yeah, but it's like in the round, like, what about now? What about now?
Yeah,
Forget
I
about
think
tomorrow.
that's Manu.
It's
on
too
that.
far away. It's a gorgeous song.
Yeah, no, I think that's him. Because I know there's another slower jam on that that's actually Terry Bozzio he's like a Frank Zappa drummer who's incredible.
Boom, ba-ka. Hey, you know what we have to figure out? We need blurbs on the back of our book.
Yeah.
Blurbs. And we have to figure out what Canadians would be awesome to have write a blurb. And a blurb is like, yeah, I read it, it was good. Or never heard of them. Or, you know, there are worse ways to spend a Sunday afternoon. Like just those little quotes that you get on the back from people that will hopefully help sell the book.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we should ask the buds because it's a tough question.
It is.
And our publisher's been asking us, like, who would make the most sense to write blurbs?
Yeah, like
and there are
full-on Canadian bods that everyone can relate to that have all those qualities that are deserved of throwing a quote on the book to be full.
So if you have an idea, why don't you hit us at hashtag TNT book blurb. TNT book blurb.
TNT book blurb.
And let us know who you think should write a book blurb for us. Because, it's one of those things where, you know, would you buy a book because the foreword was written by so-and-so?
Yeah.
Probably not. It's like I always say, who would you stay up to watch on Jimmy Fallon? Probably nobody because you'd see it the next day.
Exactly.
But it's still a good trick.
Maybe the music, the play and the music. Hey, I like this jam from 2010. Usually the new music we play, I always say I hate it. But I like Phoenix. They're a great band.
What's this jam called?
1901 up in this mask. Tim Oxford was hanging with these bods. I think in Atlanta at the Shaky Knees, or what the hell is it called?
I don't know.
It was one of those beard festivals where you can get ticks.
Ticks,
From
tats, and beards.
The Gettysburg-looking mask lined up at the Evian booth.
Ticks and tats is a great name for a fest.
Or the Virginia Hero 1866 looking mask standing at the Spotify booth.
Reenactor looking masks getting face masks from Sephora.
Last stand at Roanoke looking mask hanging out by the iTunes booth.
A Coureur de Bois with Beats by Dre headphones looking mask.
Salvador Dali looking mask standing out front of the fucking YouTube windows.
That mask who invented the big bicycle with the big front wheel and the tiny back wheel, driving a big bicycle with a big front wheel and a tiny back wheel, but ironically looking mask.
Those two fat guys from the World Book of Records with the cowboy hats on the mini bike looking masks hanging out by the Lionel Trains VIP room.
6 girls in boho fringe tops standing beside the A&W Root Bear looking mask.
Okay.
It's indie corporateness.
Picasso, old greasy man looking with no shirt on, guy in the Red Bull booth looking mask.
It's the captain from Tintin standing beside... I don't know, I'm out of ideas. We'll take a break on TNT 110 and be back. Stay with us.
Where's my beer chair?
I'm going to tell you something. This is our 7th year in a row coming to the Chin Picnic.
Love it.
It's a highlight of the calendar year for me.
It is, for sure. The girls here are spectacular.
Hey, Joe, pass me a Brio real quick.
Yeah. Icy cold.
Did you shake it, you son of a bitch?
Hey, what do you know?
You shook it, you son of a bitch!
Sorry, buddy. Hey, what are you gonna do?
Every time I fall for that.
Finally, you get some egg on your face, Gino. Hey, since we're done frisbee, and by the way, like, my under the arm curve shots are way better than yours. I just want to say, we have to address the new game idea I got.
What? Well, you got a new game?
Yeah, let's play I Spy, Gino.
That's not a new game, Joe. People have been playing it for centuries.
A new game because we're doing a new one as opposed to the old one, which was frisbee.
Well, that's like me saying I came up with a new idea. Let's watch TV.
That's not what I'm saying, Gino. I'm saying that it's a new game, like it's a new one. Not that I invented it, just that it's new. Like we're not playing it before, but we're playing it now.
But that's like you don't say, "Do you want to have a new dinner?" It's just it's understood when you have to sit down for dinner.
Gino,
it's going to be a new one.
I just want to play I Spy. Like who cares? Seriously,
so that's all you got to say to a guy. You want to play I Spy?
Get me excited.
You don't have to say, "Hey, do you want to go to this place I founded, America?"
Listen, are we going to play?
Sure, let's play I Spy. Yeah, let's play I Spy. I'm waiting for you to spy something already.
All right, okay.
What did you spy, Joe?
Let me start. All right, okay. I spy with my little eye something that is.
What? The phone? You invented it?
Gino, just let me say it.
Well,
I spy
say it
with
already.
my little eye something that is bright red.
Well, it's a stoplight over there at the corner.
Come on, man. There's all this stuff.
Am I right or am I right?
You guess it right away, Gino. Come on.
Well, pick something harder, Joe.
Well,
it's not
your
introduction
turn,
to colors.
Your turn.
I spy with my little eye First of all, I spy my shoulders getting bright red, and because I'm getting burnt, it took so long to pick a thing.
Here, I got the sauce.
I spy with my little eye something lime green.
Lime green. Oh.
Yeah, like...
It's that tight little number 9 over there, that chick.
No.
Come on, that's the only lime green thing around here.
No. I guess it's more of a like orange.
The Dickie D's kid has hat.
What? That's orange to you?
Well, you just said bright green, man.
Well, I said it's like a lime greeny orange, like a kind of a combo.
Okay, it's the cones over there, the parking cones.
No, those are lime green to you.
You just said it was orange.
Oh, I said it's like a lime greeny kind of orangey, kind of purple, right like there, it's like a combo.
And the kid's popsicle right in front of us there? The kid's popsicle?
What, it's lime greeny orange to you? No.
What?
That's a lime green orange to you? No, where'd you grow up?
What is it? I give up.
It's that girl's shorts.
I said that. That's the first thing I said.
No, you did not. You said it's a number 9. You said it was the tight little number 9 over there. You didn't say the shorts.
Okay, listen. I got one right now. I spy with my little eye something that is...
That kid's stroller.
No. Let me. Okay, that was totally what it was. But
I know. I can tell by your eyes. Don't look at the thing you're gonna pick.
Okay. All right. Okay, I spy with my little eye something that is
that dime sun hat over there. Look at that. That's like it's like
How
a
do
mouse.
You know every single time?
Because you're looking at the thing, Joe. You're looking right at it.
I'm not looking. Okay, don't look at me right now. Look over there. I spy with my little eye something that is bright blue. Go ahead.
It's the visor that Goomba is wearing over there.
Seriously,
well, am I right
Gino,
or am I right?
How do you know every single time?
Joe, your brain's not that big. It's easy to navigate.
It's your turn.
I spy with both my eyes something. It's like a brownie yellow. Sort of like a puce. It's like a puce.
Is that like a butter?
No, it's like a
buttercream. Buttercream color.
No, like remember the cake car that Uncle Herb had that was like they called it Arizona Topaz. It's like that.
Kind of like caramel kind of looking.
Yeah, it's like a caramel, but like dipped in like
that caramel apple right there. That kid with the caramel apple going by.
No, it's like burnt sienna, like kind of a...
That picnic bench over there, right there, the picnic bench.
Yeah, it's like that, but it's like if that was aged and like dipped in tea and then freshly painted. It looks kind of like that.
This lady's shawl over here with
No, it's warmer than that. I would say the tone is warmer than that overall, but it's
Okay, how about that eye rock in the parking lot? The eye rock.
No, Joe, come on, it's red. Hey, Joe, you know Glidden Paints?
What's that mean? What are you talking about? We playing I Spy, man. You said
I know,
it was
but
Doc
the thing
Brown.
that
So how about the mascot over there?
No, it's not that. The thing that I spy.
Mascot.
You know the Glidden Paints amber sunset? The thing that I spy is kind of that color.
Now it's getting red and orange.
Well, yeah, it's like a reddy, orangey,
it's totally changing. I know
green.
it. You're flipping it every single time. Every time I tell you, I know I'm getting close. I think one time that I said it, you were looking and you said, yeah, before. You told me that the brown thing was what it was.
Joe, do you give up?
You said it was going to be that way, but it's
not.
I'm sick and tired of playing this game, Gino. You ever do this to me?
We're just trying to have a little fun, Joe. We're just trying to have fun. Do you spy or do you not? You passed out from anger again. Great. What kind of chin picnic tradition would it be if you didn't pass out from anger?
I'm
Joe?
sick and tired of this, Gino. We're just playing one game and you have to do this to me every single time.
I just splashed some Brio on your face. It brought you around.
I didn't even breathe for my thing. I didn't take my happy machine from the home.
Hey, those birds are looking.
They think
Suck it up.
How are they looking?
They're looking at me?
Yeah, they're looking right. No, I think they're both looking at me, but you might get some...
Hey, girls, hey.
You might get some extra
they're
baggage.
laughing at us now.
No, they're smiling at me.
Well, why? You want me to go talk to them, Gino?
Can I tell you what I spied, by the way?
What's that?
There's a can of Glidden paint, Amber Sunset, under the stage. You can see it from here. That's what I spied.
So every single thing that you were saying was all the same pot of paint?
Yeah, it was a can of paint.
You smart ass, Gino.
You interrupted me, Joe.
You get me every single
time. You know what
time.
happens when you interrupt me.
I gotta take my pills.
Aww.
Gino at the chin picnic.
Joe has to take his pills? What are they for?
I guess for his episodes when he passes out.
Maybe Joe has seasonal anxiety disorder.
Definitely from Gino.
Poor Joe.
Just grinding on him for his whole life.
And he's not happy when it's gray.
Well, even when it's like he says something that's legitimate, Gino still tends to take the low road and just mess with him every time.
Take the low road is an expression you don't hear enough.
Yeah.
He tends to take the low road. It's pouring there today, right, bud?
It is raining. It's a gloomy, rainy day. It's nice out, but it's raining. It's warm.
You'll be happy to know I got my garden in.
Oh, you did, eh?
Yeah, and Shug made signs for all the vegetables that I'm going to have laminated at the Staples to put at the end of the rows.
Mm-hmm.
Let's play, Did
Does
You
your stuff
Plant
get
It?
crushed by rabbits?
No, we don't have many rabbits around. There are deer. Yeah, we have deer around. I've been pretty lucky.
We got rabbits and there's a possum in the backyard. How about that?
What's that math?
You know those
like?
ones with the long little noses? Little maths?
Yeah.
They dig holes and stuff. Got one of them in the backyard.
Does he live under your $100,000 deck?
No, he's somewhere on the shoreline of the water.
I wonder if he's ever tried to get busy with the turtle.
I don't know, maybe.
The 200-degree turtle.
Or the beavers or the muskrats.
Do you see beavers around the lake?
Yeah, there's beavers been seen. Yeah.
What are they doing?
Just cruising around. I don't know.
Like, can you approach them masks? Or they're a little...
I wouldn't. They're pretty tough. You don't want to take a bite from those huge teeth or a smack from that tail, that matted tail-looking mask.
But you don't hear of beaver attacks as often as I'd hope.
Well, but people didn't hear of dolphin attacks until all of a sudden we mentioned it, and now we hear them all over the place.
How about the sea lion attack?
The sea lion grabbing the kid, and then all of a sudden there's 50 people there the next day. How about that?
What is wrong with people?
I don't know.
I'm going to tell you something.
I want to get
First of all, the girl should not have turned her... I mean, she's 2, whatever. Her parents should definitely not have let her turn her back to the animal. There. Yeah, they say, second of all, the animal probably thought it was food. They're not malicious or, predatory.
That was Yonkers Island.
But props to the guy that jumped in, because you like to think in that moment you'd be the guy who jumps in.
Yeah, but then it changes when it happens.
Yeah. Yeah, you really see what someone's made of.
Yeah, the guy that jumps and runs away.
Yeah, the other guy who's like, hold my phone and my keys, and here's
George
my billfold.
And Seinfeld at the kids' party, knocking everybody over, including the old lady.
To get out.
Fire! Fire!
But I'll tell you something. That was startling to watch, because it happened so fast. But the sea lion was just chilling.
It really was. It was.
And I think she was okay, right?
Yeah. Don't mess with those the sea life.
Don't mess with the sea life, buds.
You were about to get it by that sea turtle was starting to size you up.
I would say there was one romancing the stone, yeah.
Yeah.
But I didn't really know what he was after.
Hey, so we got our hard copies of the books, the ARCs, the reading copies that are passed around that give people a feel for the book.
Yeah. It looks like a book.
Yeah, it does.
And we're going to have the official cover reveal in the next few weeks, hopefully.
Yeah.
Which we're really excited about.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing that I like about it the most, and I don't think this is giving too much away, we asked BOD ambassadors from all across the country to contribute local kind of hot tips. And I think that's what'll give it the usefulness as a sort of travel tome.
For sure.
Because if you're going to Winnipeg, you can just look up some tips from someone who lives there.
Gotta love that.
Gotta love it, bud.
Yep, my Lisa's mom, Shirley, is reading the book.
Is she enjoying the book?
She is enjoying the book. Lisa's going through it. She's enjoying it, and as well as giving, because it's not perfect. There's little things, clams here and there, because it's not the final printing. Yeah. So she's helping out on that front too.
Is she a good speller?
Great speller, great grammar, and great sentence former.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good chops in that. Queen's
So what is she
chops.
circling in red ink? Like, you might want to revisit this, bud.
Yeah. No, none of that. We're clean from that so far.
So is she reading it start to finish?
Yeah.
She learning stuff about you she didn't know?
Not yet. I don't know if that will. Maybe it will happen. I don't think so. Like I said that from the beginning, this is more kind of a collection of tales as opposed to an introspective on us.
Yeah.
We don't really get too personal, that's for sure, in terms of how we feel about things, because we wanted it to be a book about Canada and growing up here, the great things about it.
Yep.
Not all.
At the same time, we allude to some of the things that shaped us into the people that we are, and one of the things is growing up here, and
mostly, entertaining.
Kind of like the podcast itself. That's one of the things I like about this environment that we've created. It can go from silly to sketch to serious to salty, all in the run of one episode.
Speaking of salty, when it's drizzly and dark outside, we've got some chill out, relax, stay indoors jams.
Perfect.
Right?
Let's hit them.
And they're still in the 2010 vein.
Are they?
Yeah.
Ew. Yeah, curious to hear what would have been in the low-key, stay indoors, rainy day vibe 2010 styles.
Bonnie?
Ew.
It's Bonnie again?
No, it's not Bonnie again.
Okay.
Who should it be?
Randy? Randy and Burton?
Sure. What's this jam?
It's that new Canadian band, that Arcade Fire. Big song, The Suburbs. They're pretty good.
I've heard of these guys.
Pretty popular, Randy.
I mean, they're not. I wouldn't say they're forging any new frontiers in music.
I'm pretty sure I had a couple more hits than you did in the 70s when we had a break. Remember that? When you left us in the Fillmore, 1971, Randy?
Sorry, I'm just listening to this groove. It reminds me of, do you remember when the Umbrellas released their album in 1967 and it had that kind of dang-a-dang-dang-a-dang-a-dang-dang vibe on some of the songs, and it had Roxy Russo was the bass player in that band at the time, and he was he was a protege of mine. Even though I play guitar, he kind of picked up that dang-a-dang-dang-a-dang-a-dang-dang from some of the stuff I was doing, and kind of made that rock for him, man. And people all over the world were like, he's doing that Bachman thing. So I hear that in this song.
Shoo-doo-ba-doo. 5, 6, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Randy, you're going off again. Take it easy. Nobody wants to hear that story. Shoo-babe.
Burton, do you hear this gong-ka-dong-ka-dong-ka-dong? That's it's reminiscent of my early work when I was working with Mick and Keith, and also
Hey Randy, can
Bowie.
you pass me some of the Mr. Greeks from catering for today? We got it's delicious, the Mr. Greeks. You want some more Mr. Greeks? I love the souvlaki's.
No, I was just listening to this song and thinking how it reminds me of...
Well, you're eating the bread. You're sure dipping the tzatziki away. Let's not forget that part, Randy.
When I was in the Beatles, one of the things that we tried to do was...
You weren't in the Beatles. That's totally made up. That's not true. I'm sick and tired of this, Randy. This has been going on for far too long. I've been quiet about it. But this lying and going on and on about falsehoods is really starting to impact Guess Who's career at this point.
Winston
What was that thing? You
Churchill
said something
asked
about
me
Aretha
once.
Franklin naked? What was that?
Oh yeah, it was. She misread the signals that I was throwing out.
What the hell was that? Diana Ross or something?
Yeah, well, it was actually all the Supremes. But that's a story for another time.
Yeah, you save that for your CBC show, okay? I'm going to the Salisbury. You want to grab a hot hamburger with me? Maybe hit the track
No.
after?
I'm supposed to be part of a super group. I don't know, something involving the Mandela family.
You know, your eyes are almost as big as your lies, Randy.
You should jot that down, Burton. That sounds like your solo record.
Randy and Burton.
There's no love lost between the maps, is there?
No, there isn't. They get along like soy and rice.
But they still tour, right?
I don't know. Are they together? Yeah, I think they're together right now. But you never know. They might get in a rumble again and then take a break. Or
Do you mean
maybe
they're
they just
together
go
at this
solo
very moment?
Anyway. They'd like the solos.
I love Randy claiming to have been involved in everything in history.
Yeah, for sure. How's another rainy day jam?
Hit it.
Put it on the microwave. Have some popcorn. Put on some The National. When you're feeling all dark and depressed. How about?
Do you mean the national news or the national golf?
National
Club?
Band? Do Andrea like all moping around, nothing going on.
Laramie, I'm going to tell you something for free. You sitting around listening to the soundtrack from Gloom, the musical, it's not going to perk you up. I know it's raining outside, but it can still be sunny in your heart.
I'm tired.
Do you know what I'm tired of doing? Is seeing you be a sad Sally. Why don't you friggin' get up, we'll go see a movie or something.
I was just gonna write some lyrics.
Laramie, I'm worried about you that you're sad in your heart and they don't make band-aids for the inside. Why don't you let me cheer you up for a little bit?
I need this for my music.
What if we took some ballroom dancing classes or did something right fun like that?
I'm just gonna paint my face white and black for a second here.
Laramie, can you just put your fingers right here on the small of my back? Do you feel a lump or anything?
I don't
Oh, I
have
guess
time
you
for
can
that,
kind of
but
dance to
what
this.
is
I am
that?
swaying my hips back and forth to this song.
What's going on there? What is that?
I don't know, I just wondering if you felt something unusual.
No, I don't. Let me put
What
this
about right
makeup
here in my
on.
hip bone? Put your fingers right here in my hip bone.
No, I'm
What do you
busy.
feel?
I'm putting it. Look it. Do I look like the Crow?
The Crow, are you friggin' serious?
Kind of going for that thing for this show at Sneaky's on Friday. The Crow kind of thing.
Laramie, crow up, bud. Why don't you go outside and blow the stink off you for a second?
I went out to the hide house and I got one of those long coats, the black ones.
You need to get a hobby. Have you thought about calligraphy or origamis where you bend the papers in the shape of birds?
I'm going to sleep.
Laramie, answer me one question before you go to sleep, will ya?
What?
Do you think this top is too much cleavage for the club?
Let's take a break and say goodbye on 110.
I'll talk to you next week, Pecker. Friggin' take care, bot.
Doom gang gang go get doom gang, Jubon bounce, doom 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 bam bam, ticka doom down.